We were discussing about the poem Road Not Taken. I have already given you the idea that it's an autobiographical poem and why Robert Frost decided to write this poem, because once in his own life he was in a dilemma, what to do, what not to do. He was not getting his desired name and fame in his own country, America. So he decided to leave and he went to England. And there, within no time, his poems were published. He became famous. He became, obviously people started knowing him, recognition. And in this manner, his dream was fulfilled. So he is actually giving a message, the important message, that the choices when one is making in his one's life, on that choice, your future depends. And one thing is again very important, that even if your choice or a decision you have taken, maybe it is right or wrong, but you cannot come back. So it is better that before taking any important decision of your life, you should think, you should introspect, you should see the positivity or the negativity, pros and cons, and then you should take the decision. So that's very important, because you may regret, okay, but you will never be able to come back. So when the poet is standing, and once again I'm beginning from the very first line, two doors diverged in a yellow wood. Okay, so our poet is standing. Yellow wood is actually autumn season, as I told you yesterday. It's all about the autumn season. 1 minute, still busy. Some instruction I have to give to someone. 1 minute. 1 minute. Recording is not on. Okay, sorry. Hmm. So, uh, 1 minute. Hmm. So that's very important, that when you take the momentous decision of your life, you have to be careful, as I told you, that we have to make our choices. Maybe we have to have some alternatives, but you can choose only one, because you are only one traveler, you are only one being. So, and before taking any important decision of your life, it is important for you to think about how it is going to benefit you, or maybe what are the demerits of that selection, of that choice. So, this time is going to come in your life as well very soon. Rather, it has come when you have to sorry, when you have to take momentous decision, which subject you will choose for your career, or which path you will walk. I told you that there are two ways always. One, the most wanted, people walk on it, far reaching consequences, results, that is better, sure and certain. And one path is there which is uncertain. But still, the poet urges everyone that look at your capabilities, look at your own skill, and then decided that on which path you will walk. Okay, now let's move to next stanza. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had borne them really about the same. Now see what the poet wants to convey. The poet kept on looking at one path for a long time to check if it is the right path for him or not. Obviously, first path he saw whether it is the right place, and then he decided and started walking on another path, because he felt, the poet felt, that the both paths were equally good. So he says, then took the other, second road, just as fair. Yeah, it was also good. And having perhaps the better claim. Yeah, the better consequences, better claimed. As I told you, that if you wanted to have a stereotype life, like becoming an engineer, doctor, lawyer, whatever, and then you have another path where you are where you want to become a cricketer, a singer, a musician, or a painter, or a writer. So second path is better claimed because once you become a famous personality, people will start recognizing you more than an engineer. So he says that I saw the other path, and then I found that it was perhaps the better claim. He adds that maybe he felt that the path was better for him. So he chooses it as it has grass on it, which means that it was unused. Grassy means unused, okay, and wanted wear. Wanted wear also means not many people had walked on this path earlier, and that is why this path was grassy. And wanted wear means that it was not walked over by many people. So he took the second path, which was equally interesting, grassy, obviously, because I told you that we want a secured life. So second path was grassy and wanted wear. Means the second path was asking people to come and walk on it. Though, as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. But after he walked on the path for some distance, he realized that both the parts had been worn out the same way. Okay, both the paths were similar and worn out. Even in our life, we take any path or option, but all of them have the same benefits, disadvantages, or advantages, problems, challenges, and we must face them. We think that we are choosing a better option, but it is not that way, because whatever option you will choose, both the path means, even if you want to become an engineer, it's not an easy thing. You have to put your effort. Okay, becoming a good engineer, you have to put effort. Similarly, if you are dreaming of becoming a writer, there also you have to put effort. So when he started walking on the second path, then he realized that yes, second path is also very difficult. There are challenges on it, and that is why people have walked on it, and they too have faced the problems. And then he says, and both the morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. He says, the poet says, that both the paths were similar that morning, but had leaves on them, and no one had stepped on them. As they were still green in color, he decided that the day he would take one path and keep the other path for another day, although he knew that one day one way leads on to another way. So he says that both the morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black, means challenges are equal. Either you are walking on the first path, which is, as I told you, stereotyped, sure and certain, the advantages are better, and but if you will work on it, the challenges are equal. And in leaves no step had trodden black. That means no one had stepped on them, as they were still green in color. Means when you start the walking on the both path of your life, then you will find that walking on both the roads are equally challenging. Maybe second path, the reaching far reaching consequences are better, but walking is equal. Okay, so he says, and then he says, oh, I kept the first for another day. What does it mean? It means that finally poet has taken the decision. And what was his decision? That he will walk on the second road. Yes, this is the question, that on which road the poet wants to walk. The poet wants to walk on the second road, because now he is saying, oh, I kept the first for another day. That means finally he took the decision and he decided to walk on the second road. Okay. Yet, and so he says, I kept the first for another. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Here, the poet is becoming very honest. He says that once he will start walking on the second road, and first road I have kept. But I know that once I will start walking on second road, it is not possible for me to come back and to walk on the first road. I doubted if I should ever come back. Means he knew that he could not go back on the choice that he had made. Similarly, even in our life, once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead with that option. We never get a chance to come back and take the other option that we had left earlier. Like if you decided to become an engineer, is it possible for you? Once again, you will leave your studies and you wanted to opt some other career in your life? No, it is very difficult. Even though some examples are there, but they are very limited in number. Very little examples we have where people have taken the challenges, or maybe they haven't changed their entire life. But most of the people, they want, obviously we can have only one choice, only one option in our life. So once you have decided to walk on first or second road, it will never be possible for you to come back and to walk on the first or second road again ever in your life. So he says that I know way leads on to way. That means once I will start walking on second road, my way will move to another way, and I doubted, and I will always have a doubt whether I will ever be able to come back and walk on first road, which I have left for some other day, which is not possible. That is the message he wants to give to all of you, that when you will take this decision that, yes, I have to become this, or I have to choose this profession or this occupation, then choose it wisely, okay? Other with all your wisdom, with all your, yeah, you can take the suggestions from your parents, think about it, introspect about it, your decisions, question your decision. So before taking any important decision of your life, think and plan. Otherwise, what will happen once you will start walking on that path, it will not be possible for you to come back and to walk on the first road. Now let's come to the concluding four lines where you will get an idea, and the question will come from this also. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Now this sigh means positive or negative? It is actually a little negative, deep breath. No, dukh se bhara hua. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. Now look at these lines. He says, the poet says, in the future, he will take a deep breath, he will take a sigh. That, yeah, once upon a time, he was in a dilemma in his life. Okay, somewhere ages and ages hence means maybe after many, many years, people will ask him why you decided to leave your country, why you reached to England. And then he will tell them that once upon a time, I was in a dilemma. I was in an indecisive state of my mind, and I was standing at the verge of two roads diverged in a wood. The decision was impending, and then what did I do? I took the one less traveled by. Less traveled road is second road. Yes, I made an important decision of my life, and I took the less traveled road, or the second road. Remember, if the question is there, which road the poet walked, you will write down second road. And that has made all the difference. Now, difference here means that means happiness. Difference that now whatever he wants to become, a famous poet, he became. And this difference is for good. Yeah, he got his desired name and fame. वो खुश हुआ है. देखो, this poet last paragraph is a confusing. His obviously एक question आता है कि according to you, what do you think? The poet is happy with his decision or unhappy with his decision? Then you will write down, poet was in a confused state of mind, neither completely happy nor completely unhappy. कैसे? अब तुम पूछोगे कैसे वो पूरी तरह से हैप्पी नहीं है, अनहैप्पी नहीं, बिकॉज ही इज सेइंग आई शैल बी टेलिंग दिस विथ अ साई। मैं बताऊंगा साई के साथ, मीन्स डीप ब्रेथ, दैट वंस आई टुक द डिसीजन ऑफ लीविंग माई कंट्री एंड since it made, because I took the decision and that has made all the difference. ये difference अच्छा हुआ कि बुरा हुआ? अच्छा हुआ. क्यों? Because he became a famous poet. So अब obviously I told you yesterday also, कुछ काम पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है, तो कुछ मिला भी कुछ खोया भी. He has to leave his country. That was a very difficult decision for him. So he was a little sad, but he became a famous poet. Okay, his poems were published. The entire world started recognizing him as a poet. That was the positive thing, and so he was happy. इसीलिए जब पूछा जाएगा कि whether he is happy or unhappy, तो you will not say yeah he is happy or he is unhappy. You will say the poet is neither completely happy nor completely unhappy. He is happy because he got his name and fame as a poet, recognition as a poet. But he is unhappy. He was also unhappy because he has to leave his own country in order to get this desired name and fame. So, this is the strong message for all of you, my dear children, that you should be wise, you should be careful while making choices, because the options will be there in your life and your future depends on the choice that you are going to make today. Yes, whatever decision you will take today, that will impact and affect your future. So before taking any important decision, sorry, before taking any important decision of your life, you should be very wise and you should think, act wisely, and you should also take help of some experienced person, maybe your teacher, maybe your parents, maybe whoever is there to help you out. Because if this is the moment that comes in everyone's life, the road not taken, the choices which you have not taken. So if that choice you have not taken, what was the reason? Or whether you are happy that you made this difference, you can say different choice. Yes. So poet is saying, Robert Frost, the poet is saying that before taking any important decision of your life, you should think and then you should choose wisely. Okay? Because it will, your future, everything will depend on the decision you will make today. So, road not taking. It depends on the choices one make is one's life. Clear? Poem is clear? Now I will give you opportunity to discuss question answers or if you have any confusion in your mind, because this poem is a little confusing. Okay, 1 minute.